Oh, I can take you there.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to get this like soft glam makeup look. So keep on watching. Okay, so the first step is we're going to be taking our e.l.f. Cosmetics Hydrating Cameo Concealer in Fair Rose. And I'll be using that as my eyeshadow base for today. And I'll be just applying that with my finger all over. And then I'm going to go in with the BeautyBay palette, the matte palette. And I'll be taking that brown shade, and it's not brown, but gray shade, sorry. And to kind of start off the first transition. And I'll be putting that all over my eyelid. Okay, and for the next transition, I'll be taking that orange shade from that same palette, and I'll be basically blending out my outer edges of that first eyeshadow I used, and I kind of like blend those two together using a fluffy brush. Okay, and for my final eyeshadow, I'll be using this ash gray eyeshadow color, and I'll be putting that on top of the brown using a fluffy brush, and it kind of deepen the colors a little bit and to kind of add some depth to it. Okay, and to cut my crease, I use that same Cameo concealer in Fair Rose to help cut my crease, and I took that on a flat brush that is by Mary Kay, and I basically took that and put it on I guess from my inner corner to almost to like the middle of my eye, and I kind of used that to help create the cut crease and the general shape I want. Okay, and then going back in that same palette, I'll be using that white shade, and then on a small detailing brush, I'll be filling in that area where I put my concealer in, and basically putting that white shade in there and blend it in and blend the shade out. Okay, so next I used the NYX glitter primer, and I basically took that on an angle brush, and I basically drew an outline of like a semicircle of where I had cut my crease, and basically I'm going to put a glitter liner effect on top of that cut crease. And the glitter I'll be using is the Stila liquid eyeshadow in Follow the Sun. And I took that on that same angle brush. Okay, going back into that same palette again, I used that same ash gray shade, the ashy gray color, and I basically used like a fluffy brush to kind of blend in the outer corners a little bit, so you won't be able to tell that I had cut my crease, so everything can look smooth and blended. Okay, for eyeliner, I used the e.l.f. Cosmetics liquid eyeliner in Midnight. It's kind of like a navy blue dark shade, and I just use this as eyeliner for this look. And for lashes and lash glue, I used the i.Envy lashes in 24, and I used the Duo lash glue with the blue packaging. And for primer today, I used the Fourth Ray Beauty Coconut Milk Serum, and I basically put that all over my face and in any areas I feel like it needs to be moisturized, and with that primer. For highlight, I'll be using the Frida liquid highlighter underneath my foundation today, and it kind of has like a gold reflect to it, and so I just put that on the areas where I normally will highlight. Okay, and for concealer today, I'll be using my LA Girls Pro Concealer in Chestnut. And I'll be basically taking this underneath my eyes, on my forehead, and on my chin, and down the bridge of my nose. And basically, I use the concealer first because I'm able to use less foundation and it doesn't feel like I have that cakey look of using foundation and concealer. So I'd rather use more concealer than foundation. And for foundation today, I'll be using the Juvias Place Liquid Velvet Matte Foundation in Angola. And I'll be basically taking on the remaining areas of my face where I didn't put that concealer and kind of blend those two colors together. Okay, and for powder today, I'll be using my BlackRadiance Loose Setting Powder in Banana. And I'll be basically taking that on the areas where I put my concealer. And then I'll put it a little bit just on the areas of where I put my foundation. Okay, going back into the palette we used earlier, I'm going to use that same ashy gray shade. And using a small detailing brush, I'll be going in underneath my eyes and kind of complete the eye look using that color. Okay, for bronzer today, I'll be going in with the Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette, and I'll be taking those two colors and I'll use a angled brush and put those two colors on the outer portions of my face to kind of add some warmth to my face and add a little color back to my face. And for highlight, I'll be using the Wet n Wild Mega Highlighter in Precious Petals, and I'll be taking that on kind of like a highlighter brush. Okay, and for my setting spray, I'll be using the Wet n Wild Rose Primer Setting Spray, and I'll be spraying that all over my face. And afterwards, I take my sponge and I pat down the remaining areas that are wet. And for lip liner and lipstick, I use the brown lip liner and the NYX Lingerie Matte Liquid Lipstick, the Velvet Matte Liquid Lipstick in Teddy. And I kind of use my fingers to blend those two colors together. Okay, this is the completed look. Thanks so much for watching today's video. All of the products will be linked in the description box below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.